what I would be uh, covering is how the CMDB works in the platform. Because if we take all the item modules, the CMDB forms as a basic part for everything because the data comes in and we utilize that data. So first thing is we have something called identification and reconciliation API that is coming along with the platform, and that is part of CMDB. And all the other modules in ITOM makes use of this module to keep the CMDB consistent. So that is the first thing that we will be looking first. And then next we go in a flow. So once we understand how CMDB works, probably we'll look into a couple of scenarios, something like a CMDB health and how the data comes into CMDB and how do we keep it consistent. So that is the first thing we need to understand before starting the ITOM modules. So I'll be focusing on that for the first 3 days or first 3 sessions. Let me put it in a hourly basis. So I will need 3 hours to cover that. And to start with discovery, again, what we will be doing as part of discovery is, as of now, we'll be discovering our own laptops. So when I mean that, let's say Abdul wants to discover Pragal's laptop, he can do that. We'll discuss about how we do that, and when we discover that, how is the data coming into ServiceNow, and can I get additional data apart from what discovery is fetching? So we'll be using pattern for that, so that we can do it with probes and sensors, but probes and sensors has become legacy, but it's not like it's not in use. Probes and sensors are still in use, but we'll be focusing more on the patterns part. Even if you guys want, we can achieve the similar functionality using probes and sensors. We'll discuss about that. But in case if there is a specific need for any one of you to learn more in depth about probes and sensors, we can do that also. So as part of discovery, once we understood how the CMDB works, basically taking it around 2 to 3 hours, we will be starting our discovery. We'll try to discover the other participants' laptop or whatever device that is, and then we'll work on the pattern to fetch additional details. So that is where you will get a basic understanding about how pattern works. And then we move. So to do this, again, we need anywhere around 8 to 10 hours. So accumulating CMDB and discovery, it may take anywhere from 10 to 12 hours. And then we switch into service mapping. As part of service mapping, what we'll be doing is we'll install some dummy applications. So when I mean dummy, what we'll be doing is, as part of service mapping, we are planning to map an application. So what is service mapping first step? So basically, every organization will want to reduce the number of incidents that is happening for their particular application. Let's take an example. So there is an internet service provider, ABC, and I'm using that internet service. So when the internet services go down, when let's say the modem is on, but I'm not getting internet, what I will do, I will just open the ABC app to see what has happened or to register a complaint. What will happen is, as soon as I open the app, I'll get a pop-up message saying that we understand that your internet is not working and there is a ticket already raised. We are working on it. So this is the level of automation we will be able to perform if we have service mapping. And how do we do that? Again, that's a custom application that will send some data to ServiceNow, and that is called events. So that is where event management will come into picture. So when that event is received by ServiceNow, ServiceNow will understand that, okay, I have received an event from a third-party application saying that this internet service is down. So that is handled by the third-party application. It is intelligent enough to understand, as soon as I open the app, it tries a ping, and if internet is down, it says, okay, your internet is down. I'll right away raise a ticket for you. You don't have to raise for me. And that is where the event is sent to ServiceNow, and that's where the event management comes into picture. So we filter the event and we create an alert. Using an alert, we can create an incident. So that incident number will be sent to the third-party application saying this is the ticket number for you. So again, when will the service mapping come into picture is, let's say this server, so the internet services has gone down in colony 1. So I need to know exactly what is the dependency now. Where is this colony 1 located? What are all the other, I have to go in a upstream now. I have to find out uh, where is this colony 1 connected from, which is the server providing this internet to me. So all those I can build it as a map. If I have it as a map right away, whenever an event is coming into ServiceNow, it will directly pop up showing that this is a service that has been impacted. We can calculate the impacted services, what are the other services impacted, and what are the underlying operations that will be impacted because of this. So this is the major end solution that a customer will look forward when he is working on uh, discovery, service mapping, and event management. So this is the flow we'll be going in. First, Cmdb, discovery from 10 to 12 hours. Then we will pitch into service mapping. Service mapping, we will focus on building a map for a generic application. And then we'll go how we can create a specific class for it. And initially, we'll do a manual mapping. And then we'll do a dynamic map by which if I just give the URL, the map will automatically generate. And to do that, we'll work on the advanced customizations of the patterns. So all these things we'll be doing in your personal laptops or in your personal machines. So again, once we are done that, once we are in that level, again, that would take around 10 hours, 5 to 10 hours, anywhere between 5 to 10 hours. It depends upon uh, what level of customizations we are doing on that. So basically, we would be just building a generic or a dummy application. We'll be downloading a dummy application and we'll be trying to map that. So again, let's assume that it's a 8-hour session. So again, 20 hours almost done till service mapping, and then we'll move into event management. Again, in event management, we'll see how an event is coming into ServiceNow, how we can process it, how we can automatically allow an event to create an incident for us. So again, that would take around 3 to 5 hours. So to cover all these things, it will take me anywhere between 20 to 25 hours. And these are the topics that I would be covering as part of our sessions. So the ask from my end would be to have, I hope we have Paris available right now. So probably we can take a Paris. And then make sure that you have activated discovery, service mapping, and event management plugins. So to start with, again, we will be focusing in the initial sessions with the Cmdb that will be available as part of the platform. But going further, we may need an instance, your personal instance, with these plugins activated. So this is the ask from my end, and this is the agenda I have. And for this session, whatever topics that you guys want me to do a demo, feel free to ask me. We can discuss about that. But before that, whatever that I have said so far, if anyone of you have any questions, do let me know. We'll discuss that, and then we'll jump on to a quick demo.
A quick question from my side. So in the CMDB part, you mentioned you're going to talk about the bare out-of-box CMDB tables that are there, the IRE engine, right? So are we also going to talk about out-of-box dashboards which are there, the health dashboard,
Yes, yes,
or is it just
I'll give
IRE?
a yeah, I
Hmm.
will definitely give a basic idea about how that works. We'll also see how we can remediate a duplicated CI. So again, that I will take help from the dashboard to find out which CI is a duplicate. So just a straight forward overview on the dashboard on how it works and how we can remediate all those things.
Great, thanks.
Uh, Balaji, what amount of networking knowledge and as well as JavaScript is needed for ITOM?
Okay. Uh, networking knowledge, whatever that I would be discussing as of our training, that would be sufficient. But if you ask me, the terminologies that we would be using is mostly credentials, and then we'll talk about TCP endpoints, what is the endpoint, and then IP address, subnets. These are just some common terminologies. You don't
Okay.
need to have a mastery of networking.
Okay.
If you just know what is a subnet, what is the IP address, what is the endpoint, that is fine.
Okay. And what
And
amount
on
of
a
JavaScript?
yes, mostly uh, the discovery, service mapping, and event management works out of the box. When I mean out of the box, you don't need to customize anything until or unless there is a need, and there will definitely be a need because customers are always like that. They want magics to happen. So you will definitely be in a phase where you need to work on it. So comparing to the basic development activities that we do in ServiceNow, that basic level of understanding is needed here. So mostly, from my point of view, again, we'll be doing some customizations in the pattern level. And those are, if you see, it's a low code, no code environment. Pattern is a low code, no code environment. You don't have to script there. All you need to do is at at a higher level, you need to know how a regular expression works. Regular expression is a parsing strategy because we will need to parse whatever information that the pattern has brought out for us. And to do that, there are various methods again. If you're not comfortable with regular expression, you can do a different way. We'll discuss both of them, but it all depends. The platform level of basic scripting knowledge is what will be required in order to work on this, and that too in case if you are at a place where you need to perform customizations.
Okay.
We'll discuss about one or two use cases on that, and probably that will give you some idea about it.
Okay.
By any chance, will you be touching the orchestration piece, or is it out
No,
of scope completely?
it is as of now out of scope. As part of this package, we initially want to cover up Cmdb, discovery, service mapping, and then event management. So of course, it is part
Okay,
of ITOM, but as part of our training modules, we want to touch base with the basics and then go further with the different specific module-based training.
sure.
Yeah, on a higher end, uh, it would take anywhere between 20 to 25 hours to cover up all these topics. And again, we'll discuss about all this before during our first session. I'll share my agenda about what are all uh, in specific we will be discussing. Again, I don't have a day-wise agenda. This is going to be a complete training agenda. So we'll be discussing all those. But on a higher level, this is what we'll be doing. And for today, uh, whichever topic that you guys want me to demo, I'm happy to show you. If you ask me, we can uh, discuss about Cmdb. I see a couple of people here that are at a beginner level. So I would recommend anything from Cmdb that we can discuss.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I see another participant here, Prashant. Hi, Prashant. Okay, can you hear us? No worries. The session is recorded. I'll make sure this is shared. And yeah, to start with about Cmdb, uh, again, we all know at least Cmdb is part of a base platform. It is closely integrated with each and every module. So that's why we call Cmdb as a base table, apart from tasks.
See, one thing, Balaji, like your voice is sometimes audible and sometimes not. Like, can you please make sure like your voice is very clear?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Please stop me if that's the case. Is it the same for everyone?
No, it's fine by me.
Okay, no problem. If it repeats again, Ravi, I would recommend to uh, reconnect. I would ask you to reconnect. But yeah, if it's fine for everyone, I think the problem should be from your end.
See, I'm able to listen your voice, but sometimes it is the words are not audible.
Okay, no problem. Please stop me if that repeats again. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll try to connect again, or else we can do it either way. Okay, great. That's it. To start with, yeah, I was talking about CMDB. CMDB again is part of uh, the platform. And when I mean platform, again, we have two base tables. And one is task and the other one is CMDB. And when I say that, CMDB being a base table, it is closely related with each and every module. And we talked about an example about internet services. And to quickly talk about that, let's say when I create an incident, again, whenever I am about to create, I can see that there is a configuration item in it. Again, it is pointing up to CMDB and it can be directly related with the CMDB tables. Again, it is not just incident. We can see it being available in all the other tables also, wherever that it is related to. Let's say if it is going to be a problem, if it's going to be a change, and all those things. And whenever we talk about CMDB and other things, there is another table that is closely related to this. That is nothing but asset. So CMDB and asset are closely related to each other. And even though it is not related to this, again, it is a part of a specific complete training available for that, that is asset management. But it is always better to understand what happens when you create a CI. So there is a specific condition set out of the box. Whenever you create a CI, an asset gets created. Whenever you create an asset, a CI gets created. So what is the difference between them? So to understand this, you should know the life cycle of them. What is the asset life cycle and what is the CMDB life cycle? So let's take one example. So I have an organization called XYZ and I am about to hire 10 employees and I need to provision them with 10 laptops. So what I do before I hire these employees, I procure those laptops. So when I procure those laptops, again, where can I do that? Service request. So let's all consider that everything is happening inside the system. So as a owner of the company, I go and raise a request. I create a service request because I want everything to be in the system. So I raise a service request for 10 laptops, and that service request, what will happen? It check if the laptops are available in the inventory. If it is not available in the inventory, a purchase order, there is a procurement order, will be placed, and a specific team has to go and purchase them. So when the purchase, if it is integrated with a third party procurement system, something like just for an example, an Amazon or a Flipkart, it will get the purchase order IDs also. So this flow happens here, and when it is purchased, it is kept in the inventory. At this point of time, these 10 laptops are called as an asset. So what happens to this asset? So I have procured it, and right now it is in stock in the inventory, and I have hired these 10 employees. So when I provision these laptops to them, at that point of time, those employees start using those laptops for my company related works. So at that point of time, the asset lifecycle takes a pass and the CMDB lifecycle, it enters into the CMDB lifecycle because uh, only operational items, we can call it as a CI. And things that are non-operational, we can uh, consider them as a asset. And when I mean non-operational, let's say I procure a chair. If I'm not using it, that chair is non-operational. Only when I use it, that becomes operational. So this is the basic difference. And only when it is operational, I'll be able to create an incident for it. Let's say I don't have, let's say I have my keyboard not working. If my keyboard is not working, what will I do? I'll go and create an incident. And I can create an incident for only operational things. So this is the difference between an asset and CI. Textbook definition, asset is something that has financial values, and configuration item is something that has technical attributes to it, attached to it. So this is the textbook definition, but to understand clearly the difference between an asset and a CI, assets are something that is purchased and kept, but it is not operational, and CIs are something that are being operational. And what happens then? Let's say the employee is leaving the organization. Then what happens? The asset, the laptop, which is a configuration item, it is either disposed or it goes back into the inventory so that it can be provisioned to another employee. So this is the basic relation between the asset lifecycle and the CMDB lifecycle, and the difference between asset and CI. So asset lifecycle just takes a pass when it becomes operational, and when it is not operational, the CMDB lifecycle is entered there and it goes into the asset lifecycle. So again, out of the box, there are there are a couple of scripting tools and business rules that keeps an asset and a CI in sync. So to talk about that, we have asset CI field mapping. These are responsible for field mappings between an asset and a CI. And there are script includes that keeps an asset and a CI in sync. So asset and CI synchronizer. So it takes the value from all these tables, asset and CI field mappings, and it maps between an asset and a CI. But yeah, it's all the script. It will take at least a couple of days to understand. But on a higher level, this is script that will be called every time whenever there is an update or insert happening in either asset or CI. So yeah, this is about that, and there is a specific condition. Again, we can look into either one of the tables to check that. Let's go to the CMDB's business rules. And we have a business rule here, create asset on insert. So whenever there is an insert in the CMDB table, an asset will be created, but not every time. There's a specific condition for it. Similarly, vice versa, there will be a business rule in the asset table. So this is the condition all about. It just checks if the specific model categories and the type, CI type, all those. If there is already an asset and a specific sys IDs for them, and then it calls a specific business rule. So this business rule is not accessible for us, but yeah, it's part of the platform. Only those specific conditions and those specific tables, only for those it will create an asset. So this is about how an asset and CI is kept in sync and how this works. In a higher level, there is again a specific training agenda to understand how the asset works, what are the type of integrations and other things that is involved. But whenever we are talking about CMDB and whenever we are talking about discovery, uh, we should also be concerned about the asset creation, because as part of CMDB and discovery, we will be populating data into CMDB and we should know what else is happening apart from the scope of what we are doing. So we should be aware that this, whenever there is a creation of a new CI, an asset, a relevant asset will also be created. So yeah, that's pretty much it I wanted to discuss. So yeah, regarding to this, if you guys have any questions, we can discuss about it. But this is how we'll be taking further from our trainings. So we'll start with any queries, and then we'll start with a recap of our previous day session, and then we'll go into the session. And at the end of the day, we will again, once we are done with the session, we'll do the labs and queries. If time permits, we'll talk about the queries, or else the next day we'll discuss about that. So this is how we'll be going. And yeah, I'm open to questions now. And probably, yeah, my understanding is we are starting this by Monday. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything else to discuss, we can talk about that. But this is all I have for today.
Balaji, the practicals which means the lab which we do is through our laptops, or else we will be given when it comes to discovery, we will be given any other servers.
No, Ravi, as of now, we'll be doing within our own laptops as well as the participants. Uh,
Uh,
Recently, like a couple of months back, there are a lot of policy changes, and currently we don't do it with servers.
okay.
Yeah.
Will we also be setting up and installing the mid servers,
Yes,
Balaji?
we will be. Yes, we'll be.
Okay. And
That's
how many hours are we? Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. So that's what. Like, let's say, uh, what we'll be doing is we'll definitely be setting up the mid server. But let's say if Ravi is installing mid server in his laptop, but he will give, instead of his personal developer instance ID, he'll give develop your instance ID. So you'll be able to discover Ravi's laptop. So this is what I have it planned for the labs, so that we'll be at least able to discover a remote machine.
Sure. Okay, makes sense. So how many hours are we talking about every day? Is it like 2 hour session or is it a 1 hour session?
As of now, I have it planned for an hour and 25 hours, 20 to 25 hours at max is the completion time I'm looking for here. But again, we do it in a very flexible way. The timings and agendas, everything can be discussed with the organizers. So my understanding is we are going to do this Monday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 1 hour for now, but it depends upon the participants here. Depending upon your available timings, your comfortable timings, we can make it 2 hours per day. Let's say 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. I'm fine with that. But yeah, it depends upon everyone's opinion, so, how you feel comfortable and how the organizer sees fit to it.
Sure. And is it pretty strict weekdays or are we talking about weekends as well?
We can do weekends again if depending upon everyone's availability. If everyone is available, we can do it over weekend. And we can continue it over the weekends also. But if the participants, let's say, uh, are not available or not comfortable over weekends, then we'll be forced to do it over weekdays only.
Got it. Thanks.
Okay, so any more questions or are we good here?
No, I don't have any questions, Balaji.
Okay, so that sounds great, guys. I will discuss again with the organizers, and they'll inform you about when we are starting this and what is the comfortable timing for everyone to get this session started. So thank you all, thank you very much. Thanks, Nilima. Please take it forward from here.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Yeah, thank you all.